Say that there wasn't shadowy behavior, because there was. There was behavior that, as we indicated in our conclusion, really does not hold those members, those officers of the foundation in a good light. That they really kind of abused their authority to go outside the bylaws. But as we noted in a couple occasions in our report, violation of the bylaws doesn't always equal criminal conduct. And when you basically approve this type of behavior, then that becomes lawful, is what we're arguing. Because there's a provision in the bylaws that says that those bylaws can be amended by agreement of the board. Well, clearly the board informally approved this type of behavior of the foundation. And that was one of the strong conclusions we came to in this report, was by virtue of their acquiescence, by virtue of them agreeing to give officer assistance outside or a more liberal interpretation of that, that basically they amended the bylaws informally by their own conduct. And I mean, it's clear that there were many provisions of the bylaws that were not being followed by this foundation. But that doesn't, again, mean that there was criminal conduct involved. And so there were monies being given to FOP members, there were monies being given to board members that was outside the parameters of the bylaws, but they agreed to it in principle, and by virtue of that, prevents us from being able to bring any criminal charges. All we know is that the devices were wiped. The reasons for that being wiped, we don't have an answer to that. All we know that the end result was that any evidence of the business affairs of the foundation that could have been on those devices were gone. So that left, as I put in this 18-page report, left us really behind the 8 ball, trying to reconstruct what actually happened with the foundation and what were the reasons for the decisions that were being made. You can see from this 18-page report, we spent a lot of time trying to dig through what we could through the evidence that we had and to make a determination of whether criminal conduct occurred. The problem was some of the evidence was gone. And so that prevented us from maybe uncovering enough evidence to file charges. And we're not saying that the foundation board acted appropriately, but there's a difference between acting appropriately and having criminal conduct. And that's where, as an office, as the district attorney, I have to make sure that ethically that there's evidence and the law supports criminal charges against an individual. We do that every single day. This is my job as district attorney, and my office is to follow the law. And if the evidence in the law says that there is not evidence to support criminal charges, it's our duty to follow that. Ethically, I can't file charges just because it's publicly it's something that the public wants, when ethically we feel like there's no evidence to support that. And so we don't want to succumb to public pressure on this. We want to do, our decisions are based on the evidence and the law, period, end of story.